Okay, welcome back everybody. I appreciate you joining me for another video. As you can see, this is obviously not sim racing, but I am like the rest of the sim racing world right now, who is basically in a panic and can't figure out what to do because we are patiently waiting for iRacing to finish their 6 hour, supposed 6 hour update that has now been down for going on 2 days now, and we are waiting for Nürburgring, Nordschleife, and a couple of cars and some background information on the website and several other different things being fixed and well, not fixed, just updated, some sounds and stuff on iRacing, but it's not. So when I can't play iRacing, I do other things, and something else that I like to do is mess around with flight sims. I'm not very good at it. I don't know how to really do all the GPSs and the flight plans and stuff. I basically just do flights. Um, Visual flights, I guess is what you would call it. And we are actually in a Cessna, and I have this game is X-Plane. I have picked a random place somewhere, hopefully close to the Grand Canyons, because that's where I picked in the world, basically by clicking a point on the globe. So if that worked out, we should be close by, and we're just going to take off and just do a visual tour. I do have some upgraded ground textures on this game and a few other things, so it's not exactly what it looks like out of the box, but it's pretty close, and this is a pretty good game. So we're going to give it a little throttle and prepare for takeoff. And we're going to release our brakes, and we need to be going about 65 knots or so for this plane safely to take off. And this actually looks like a gravel runway, to be honest. But I don't know what runway we're on or anything like that. I just know that I randomly picked one and let it rip. I do know that it's taking us quite a bit of time to get up to speed, which is a little bit of a worry, because we need to go much faster to get off the ground. So this will be exciting. There we go, we're getting there. Typically this Cessna does get off the ground a little quicker, but I guess the gravel's got us. So we've got our flaps down a little bit, and we are going to use every bit of runway and pull up and see if we get off the ground. Woo! There we go. There was a little bit of a bounce there. I do apologize for that. And we are going to probably climb to about a slow 2,000 feet. We are about and I'm looking around, and it does look like it did put me pretty close to the Grand Canyon, I believe is what we're close to, so that worked out pretty good. And I'm not too familiar with plane terminology and all that, but I can say that I guess we are already about, I guess where we took off, we were about 6,500 feet above sea level. At least that's what my gauge is saying. I'm just going by what the gauge says. This gauge right here is, the little hand is, thousands of feet you are above the ground. And then the small dial is 100, 200, 300, so on and so forth. Typically, I always take off close to where I live, which is at the coast. And we're very close to sea level there, so I'm not above sea level. But apparently we did. So whereas I said, flying at 2,000 feet, that's not going to be the case here. So I don't know how high we are going to be, but I'm going to get up where we can see something. And we are climbing at about a 5-degree climb. About 65 knots, almost 70 knots. Cessna's not a real fast plane. That's the one downside to it. But hopefully if I can get us up here, we'll see some cool stuff. But back to iRacing, I'm trying to be really patient, waiting for that game to start back. Be ready to play, but I'm losing my patience, which I think a lot of people are also losing their patience. Hopefully it'll be back up tomorrow. I'm ready to run some laps. I'm ready to try out the ring. I'm ready to get you guys some videos of the ring. I'm pretty familiar with the ring because I run it on Assetto Corsa. However, the physics of those two games are not the same, so I don't want to get used to the physics in Assetto Corsa and then have issues in iRacing, because I have a race coming up next week if they ever get the game ready. That should be pretty cool. So I don't know if I'm going to record that or not. I may not. By the way, this is just a one take. I figured instead of just not getting anything up on the channel while iRacing's down, I would just turn on my voice capture and my, let it roll. So I'm probably boring everybody. May get 5-10 views. Woo! So, you can see this game is not incredibly realistic, but it does look good. There are no real recent flight sims, just for the simple fact that, I don't know, I think they just take a lot to make them. This game is heavily supported by the modding community, and I have dabbled in that a little bit. And at some point in time, I'll add some more. Even though it doesn't look real, I mean, you have to admit, that's pretty cool. I was wanting to get, I'm going to try to get up a little higher. Looks like we're just 8,500 feet above sea level. I'm going to try to get to 11,000, 12,000. And then maybe if I turn, you'll see some cool stuff then. What is on the ground is not exactly accurate to what's in real life. However, the road network is exactly the same. So if you were wondering if you could play this game and visually get yourself from one place that you knew to another place, you could. Because you could just follow the road networks. They are exactly the way they are in real life. Pretty much there is some kind of structure or building in the location that there would be one in real life. They're just not exactly the same. Maybe the Cessna was not the way to go, because it is taking us an incredibly long time to climb. This is a sim, so you can't be crazy. I mean, if you start to climb at too high of a rate, you do lose speed, and I do not want to, I don't want to lose power and fall from the sky. So I guess if you guys are subscribing, I see that I had a couple of subscribers on this new channel, and I guess these people are watching. You're watching because you see iRacing content. So I'm just wondering what everybody else's opinion is on how long it's taking them to get this update up. I've been on iRacing about 2 years. I've been through several updates. None of them took this long. It's quite annoying. Oh man, this plane is climbing so slow. I'll probably get us to 10,000 feet and just hold it at that. See if we can't do a level flight at about 75, 80 knots once we get up there. And just check out what's there. See what's down on the ground to look at. Yeah, it's starting to look pretty cool now. Basically this, some kind of little city down there, isn't there? Not sure what that is. I also don't know where the airport is that I took off from, and I don't know where any other ones are. So I can't promise we'll find our way back to one. Well, I'll tell you, I've never seen the Grand Canyon in real life. But if it looks anything as cool as what it does on this game, and I'm sure it looks a lot cooler, but it must be a sight to see in real life. That's pretty wild. Alright, so we're just about up to 10,000 feet now. I think what I'm going to do is attempt to position our flaps where we are running a steady flight, keeping a steady altitude. And I think we are still falling, but we're starting to level out now. Okay. Yeah, we are pretty steady now. I think I need to calibrate my joystick though, because I feel like we're falling to the left a little bit. So this is pretty cool. Just gonna kind of look around, see what there is to see. Wondering what that little city down there is supposed to be. I do get some. I have a my graphics card is a 980 Ti. It is pretty much the best of the best, other than the Titan. And I do get some pretty heavy tearing, screen tearing in this game, where I do not in iRacing or Assetto Corsa. I can run those games at steady frames per second. But I think this is just an old. This just must be an old graphics design. Yeah, I should have had a. We're going about 110 knots. It just doesn't seem like we're going too fast. There's some water down there. It's pretty cool though. Now I'm gonna have to get on a plane, I think, and go see this in real life, because this is pretty wild looking. Well, that's pretty cool. This does not keep my attention, though, I have to say, like racing. iRacing and racing sims do keep my attention much more. There's the. Well, there's a airport. I don't think that's the one that we left from, but that's definitely an airport. So I think what we may do, because I'm probably boring everybody and their mama, is we may just try to land. And it's getting late anyways. Drop some flaps. We may just try to land over there at whatever airport that is. Hopefully we'll be somewhat successful. And put her down, and I'll probably go to bed and hope like hell that they get iRacing back going by the morning. Actually, by tomorrow afternoon when I get off work. And hopefully this video wasn't too boring. But hey, if you're into, if you think you might like flight simulators, this is a pretty good game. I think you can get it on Steam right now for about $30. Might be $39.99, and it is X-Plane 10. I think it is one of the most current that you can get that you do not have to have some sort of a license or be a student at a pilot school to be able to obtain. And like I said, there's a lot of mods to this game, so there's a lot you can add to it. There's a lot you can do. The planes all have 3D cockpits. Not the best graphics in the world, but all the gauges work. You know, you can see everything works. And I recommend it. It's a fun game. Now, let's see what we can do with this visual landing. I'm not a pro at this. I'm an amateur at best. Not good at viewing my distances and stuff. Luckily, in the Cessna, the wheels stay down, so I don't have to worry about putting them down or picking them up. I know I need to be. I can't touch the ground probably in this till about a maximum of 60 knots, and that's probably too fast still. So we're going to start dropping elevation here, try to get down to about, I don't know, a couple thousand feet we're going to drop. Once we get a little closer to the ground, I'll back the throttle. I'm about half throttle now. Let's see, I'm about 2,500 RPMs. Once we get closer, I'll drop it down some more. I think I am probably coming in hot. I'm going to lower my flaps, see if I can get this nose to drop. There we go. Yeah, but I guess I could probably figure out where I am by the road network. But I'm just not familiar with this part of the world. I'm out in the middle of the United States somewhere, and I live on the East Coast. I don't have any business being out here in real life, and probably won't go. It's a pretty neat looking airport down there. I honestly don't know what it's supposed to be or where I am. And I am way too high. Way too high. You got to drop down. Luckily, the Cessna is light. It doesn't take too much. There's a helicopter pad down there. You can use helicopters on this game too, but I suck at it, so we're going to refrain from showing any of that on the video. Alright, I think I need to. We are coming in way too fast, way too hot, but we're going to wing it any damn ways. I ain't scared. We're going to put her down. down, and I'm going to pull up. Hopefully I can. Yeah, our speed is ridiculous right now, but what we're going to do is pull it up, see if we can slow it down. Yeah, I guess. I think luckily we're in a very small plane, so I think we'll be alright. Alright. A little faster than what I would like to land. Oh, yeah, we bounced back up. Yeah, not the prettiest landing, but we'll call it a day. Landed somewhere. It's definitely not where we took off at because we were on a dirt runway, so it didn't look like we were moving very fast, but we must have got somewhere. Anyways, probably bored the hell out of everybody. I appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully iRacing will be back up tomorrow and I can get you some good videos of that. Hopefully make some passes around Nürburgring and see how that ends up being. So I will see you guys in the next video.